Assalamu alaikum. Thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. As chair of Canada-Palestine Parliamentary Friendship Group, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to our event for the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian People. For members of the public on the live stream, we are a group of nearly 50 members of parliament and senators representing all parties working together in a shared non-partisan commitment to peace in the Middle East and advancing the recognition and protection of human rights for the Palestinian people. We did this event virtually last year, and I hope that we would be able to come together in person this year. Unfortunately, it just wasn't possible, but thank you to my colleagues for joining us virtually and to everyone watching the live stream on the Facebook. It is wonderful to see strong turnout for this important day, showing our solidarity with the people of Palestine. We are going to hear tonight from our vice chairs, as well as Her Excellency Mona Abu Amara, the incoming Palestinian Chief Representative to Canada. We will also have a great artistic display from Muhammad Al-Dairi, a talented Palestinian artist. I'm really looking forward to that. As I said today in the House of Commons, that Canada recognizes the Palestinian right to self-determination and supports the creation of a sovereign, independent, viable, democratic, territorially contiguous Palestinian state as part of a comprehensive, just and lasting peace settlement and a two-state solution. I am glad that since we were first elected in 2015, our government has taken a number of important steps to begin restoring needed balance to Canada's policy on the region. This includes restoring Canada's support for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, or UNRWA, and increasing it further when the former US administration pulled its funding. In 2019, Canada changed its vote at the United Nations and voted to back Palestinian self-determination. This is due in no small part to the voices here in the community in Canada who wrote to their MPs and government ministers to make the case for why Canada must be a strong voice for human rights and self-determination. And our government has also made clear that it feels moving forward with unilateral annexation is both damaging to peace negotiation and contrary to international law. The annexation policy can lead to further insecurity for both Israelis and Palestinians and destabilize the region. On this day of solidarity, I call on Canada to do more to help the ordinary Palestinians on the ground that live their daily lives under very difficult circumstances. I know we wish for a better future for all our children. Canada prides itself as a voice for human rights, and we can and must do more to stand up for the rights of the Palestinian people. With this, I just want to convey good wishes on behalf of Minister Amr Al-Gabra. He wanted to join, but something came up, so just wanted to pass his best wishes to everyone. And I would like to introduce Her Excellency, Ms. Mona Abu Amara, the nominated Chief Representative of the Palestinian General Delegation to Canada. Canada is not new for her. It's a return to Canada for Ms. Abu Amara, who previously has served in the delegation here. She has served in the state of Palestine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates, as well as a number of missions abroad. Madam Ambassador, the floor is yours. Please, everyone would love to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellencies. Good evening, everyone. I would like first and foremost to take a minute to thank His Excellency Minister Al-Gabra, who I knew wanted to be in attendance as well. So I really appreciate it. I would also like to thank you, Ms. Chair of the Canada-Palestine Parliamentary Friendship Group, MP Salma Zahed, and all of Your Excellencies, Vice Chairs, as well as Your Excellencies, members of this group, for organizing this important event and also for inviting me. I would like to give a shout out as well to everyone watching us from my beloved Palestine, if anyone is still up, and from our gorgeous hostess, Canada. You, our Palestinian community, and you, our dear friends and supporters, are a warm light in a very dark and cold tunnel. This speech in particular has been a tough one for me to write, especially due to the deteriorating situation in Palestine and the bleak future prospects for a just resolution to our struggle. This feeling of despair took me a few decades back. As a child born in exile myself, I came to face a paradox of emotions regarding who I was. On one hand, I was incredibly proud of my identity as a Palestinian, and even more so after realizing that Palestinians are able to keep their just cause alive by their mere existence in this world. But on the other hand, as I started to grow, another harrowing realization of fear and dread began to sink in. Our just cause existed in an unjust world. That realization especially manifested one day after I sneak watched a heartbreaking recording on video cassette that was smuggled out of Palestine. This tape portrayed a terrifying truth of life lived by my people in Palestine, a deeply painful and purposefully hidden truth. The reality of bone breaking, illegal imprisonment, assassinations, aggression and oppression, and much more committed by an antagonistic occupation that hoped to erase any trace of Palestine and the Palestinians. A reality that was both devastating and also bleak. Decades later, we are here, and that goal has obviously not been achieved. And Palestinian children, though still faced with the same emotional paradox and many additional paradoxes, have come to understand that while the world might be unjust, many just people live in it. People who stand for, promote, and defend values of justice and freedom. People who do not waver in the face of aggression or prejudice. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you and all of the brave friends of Palestine in Canada and around the globe, who have and are still making this excruciating journey towards freedom and liberation seem less lonely. As President Mahmoud Abbas said in his speech today, the steadfastness of our people in their land and across the world, and your unwavering solidarity with our people, and what have kept the cause of Palestine live and present despite the passage of time and the succession of generations. Let me also seize this opportunity to address not only the friends of Palestine, but also those who are wondering why they should, or even if they should, support Palestine, the Palestinians, and their cause. To you, I say, I understand how complex and confusing this dilemma might seem, but let's step away from politics for a minute and talk about what is really at stake here. By supporting Palestine, its people, and its cause, you would be supporting around 6 million Palestinians who on a daily basis face a settler colonial military occupation that inflicts humiliation, harm, forcible transfer of population, discrimination on the basis of religion and nationality, denied right of free passage, house demolitions, annexations, settlement expansion, and settler attacks, invasions of sacred religious sites, illegal imprisonments, and incomprehensible, inhumane prison conditions forced on men, but also children, women, elderly, and the sick alike, just to name a few. Among those 6 million, you would be supporting around 2 million people who are blockaded in a total area of 365 square kilometers with no way in or out in one of the most densely populated areas in the world, an area that came to be known as the largest open air prison. You will also be supporting around 7 million refugees worldwide who have been expelled from their homes and uprooted from their communities, left with nothing and pushed to start over. Refugees who were and still are denied their lawful right of return. Refugees, millions of whom have been and still are, decades later, living in camps in dreadful conditions, dependent on international assistance. Most importantly, when you support the Palestinians, you would help support and defend an indigenous population facing stigma and labels of terrorism and anti-Semitism for striving to attain their freedom, sovereignty, and self-determination over their land. You would be supporting an indigenous population that had appeased and made very painful concessions along the way, and still, till this day, extend its hand in peace. You would be supporting a solution based on international legitimacy and law. So when you support Palestine, the Palestinians, and their cause, you would be supporting the need to right so many wrongs. If history has taught us anything, it's that victor's justice and unilaterally dictated peace could never produce neither justice nor peace. So Palestinians will keep on advocating for an end to their occupation, despite the stigma and the labeling, and along with them will be hundreds of organizations, thousands of political and intellectual figures, and millions of friends and supporters from all around the world, from every religion, race, and ethnicity. The Palestinian people will never succumb or acquiesce. They will endure and they will persevere. The occupation will end and Palestine will be free. Thank you, everyone.
Ambassador, thanks a lot for this informative speech. We will have a presentation and a video by Muhammad Al-Dairi. He's a Palestinian artist and an Arab Got Talent star. I would request Madam Ambassador to please introduce him, and she will help translate
Muhammad,
to Arabic also.
سمعنا.
مرحبا. أنا حتكلم بالعربي طبعا.
تفضل محمد، أنا بترجم لك.
الله يسعد أوقاتكم. أنا حابة أتكلم بالمختصر. شكر وكلمة هيك سريعة مقتضبة يعني.
بدون شكر، بلش بالكلمة.
بلش بالكلمة. حترجميها سطر سطر، جملة جملة، ولا أحكيها كلها بعدين ترجميها؟
جملة أحسن.
ماشي. شكرا لك سعادة السفيرة. أول حاجة
أهلا وسهلا فيكم.
بالبداية أنا بحب أعبر عن مدى سعادتي وبالشعور بالفخر إني مشارك في هذا الحدث العظيم وبوجودي بينكم بمناسبة يوم التضامن مع الشعب الفلسطيني.
I would like to express how happy and proud I am to be among you within this extraordinary event celebrating the Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian People.
وفرصة إنه أقدم الشكر والتحية لسعادة السفيرة الفلسطينية في كندا الأخت المناضلة منى أبو عمارة على اختيارها لي بأن أمثل وطني فلسطين وأقدم موهبتي أمامكم، وأن أعبر عن مدى حبنا واحترامنا كشعب فلسطيني وكفنان فلسطيني للشعب الكندي العظيم.
I would like to extend my thanks to the delegation and the ambassador for giving me the opportunity to portray my love and respect and admiration. As an artist, that respect also is portrayed through my work to the incredible Canadian people, and thank them for the support of the Palestinian people.
وأيضا لدعمه المتواصل للقضية الفلسطينية وللشعب الفلسطيني.
For their support, thank them for their support of the Palestinian people and their just cause.
وبصفتي فنان فلسطيني تشكيلي، بأتمنى أن يكون هناك تبادل فني ثقافي بين فنانين كنديين وفنانين فلسطينيين لتطوير علاقاتنا وثقافتنا، ويكون هناك تبادل فني بين البلدين.
And as an artist, I would love if there would be an exchange between Canadian and Palestinian artists in the future to enrich both experiences.
وبالنهاية بحب أنا أقدم فقرة فنية تم تصويرها بالأمس كإهداء للشعب الكندي العظيم، تعبيراً عن حبي أو حبنا كشعب فلسطيني للشعب الكندي لدعمه المتواصل. والفقرة الفنية بتعبر عن كل الكلام وعن مشاعرنا وحبنا لهذا الشعب العظيم.
So my art contribution that you would witness was actually made yesterday, and with it, Mr. Muhammad portrays all his feelings of love and respect to Canada and the Canadian people. And here I just wanted to mention that during the process of the art creation that Mr. Muhammad was trying to finish, the electricity in Gaza was turned off because they just have a few hours of energy that they need to use. And he was looking all over the place for any internet cafe where he could edit and then upload and send to us the video. And that went on till 5 o'clock in the morning. So thank you so much for persevering as Palestinians do, and in the end, providing us with such an amazing piece. Thank you.
But thank you, Mr. Aldari. That was really fantastic. And I really appreciate you staying up so late to share your talent. You have so much talent. We are so proud of you. You are an example of the rich culture and the artistic talent of the Palestinian people, which is something the world needs to see and hear more of. So from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all the members, I really want to thank you. Now I would like to invite our friendship group vice chairs to speak and share a message with us. First, I would welcome our vice chair for the bloc Québécois, Député Mario Berlier. Mario, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Madame la Présidente Salma. Puis bon, je salue tous les membres du comité d'amitié Canada-Palestine. Madame l'ambassadrice Abouamara, je vous salue. C'est pour moi très important et un honneur de pouvoir souligner la Journée internationale de solidarité avec le peuple palestinien. Au nom du Bloc québécois, je tiens vraiment à exprimer toute ma solidarité avec le peuple palestinien. Il y a quelques années, nous avions déposé en avis une motion pour que le gouvernement canadien reconnaisse la Palestine comme un État indépendant. On nous avait dit qu'il ne fallait pas brusquer les choses, qu'il fallait laisser les négociations suivre leur cours, mais malheureusement, on ne voit pas beaucoup de progrès. Quand je suis allé en Palestine, ce que j'ai vu, c'est des colonies de peuplement qui se développaient, des murs autour, des points de contrôle. Et on sait que bon, les droits de la personne sont régulièrement bafoués en Palestine. C'est une injustice qui est très difficile à constater à tous les jours. Alors, on tient vraiment à exprimer notre solidarité. Avec le groupe d'amitié sur la Palestine, bon, on a envoyé une lettre pour avoir des explications sur ce qui se passe avec les 6 organismes de charité qui ont été désignés par le gouvernement d'Israël en vertu de leur loi sur le terrorisme. Mais on va voir les résultats de cette démarche-là. Alors, on va continuer à appuyer la cause du peuple palestinien, puis tant qu'il n'y aura pas vraiment, en vertu de la solution à 2 États, une solution qui rende la Palestine un État indépendant. Alors, je tiens à exprimer toute ma solidarité, à dire vive la Palestine libre. Merci.
Thank you, Mario. Merci. Now I would like to invite our new Democratic Party Vice Chair, Deputy Alexandre Boleris. Alexandre, floor is yours. You can please start.
Merci, merci beaucoup, Madame la Présidente. Et encore une fois, très heureux d'être avec vous ce soir, Madame l'ambassadrice, Madame Abouamara. Ça fait plaisir d'être avec vous encore une fois pour cet événement, ainsi que tous mes collègues. I think it's really important that we gathered in this really important day of international solidarity with the Palestinian people. Like Salma said earlier, I really hope next year it's going to be possible to gather a lot of people together in the same room, maybe
Inshallah.
with masks or inshallah. For me and the NDP, because I wanted to bring the salutations of our leader, Jagmeet Singh, in this really important day. It's really about, 2 issues. The first one is the right of all the people of this hurt of self-determination and being able to choose their state, their form of government, and their elected members, and to be able to make their own laws and control their destinies as individuals, families, communities, and nations. The second thing is for me, and I don't want to speak for Lindsay or Gord, who are with us tonight, but it's really an issue about human rights. The respect of human rights. It's something that we think for, as Quebecers or Canadians who think that is granted and everybody in the world is like that. It's not. You look at what is happening in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in so many parts of the world, in Sudan, and in Palestine. And in Palestine for decades, a lot of time. And it's not because it's been a long, conflict or long military illegal occupation of the Palestinian territories that it's less important today. Quite the opposite. We need to be firm and vocal to show our solidarity and to press our own government to do more, to do better, or to do at least what is written in his official papers and official, politics. The policies of the federal government is, quite okay normally, but it has to show up in votes in United Nations and decision regarding, the consideration of the Palestinian delegation here in Ottawa, and also our actions on the ground about illegal settlements and the products of those illegal settlements. I don't want to go into too many details because some of our audience know that we were part of a Canadian delegation of MPs 3 years ago, and what I've heard there, and probably Elizabeth will say the same thing, is that everybody asked us that talk about us, talk about our cause, talk about what's going on here, and put pressure on your government, but also put pressure on the Israeli government. There has to be some consequences to those illegal actions. And this is something I think we need to do a little bit better or more. The letter we sent about those NGOs on a terrorist list from the Israeli government is a good first step. I think that we have to tackle the issues of illegal settlements and the labeling of products, made in those illegal settlements to make sure that we can increase the pressure to defend Palestinian people, to defend their lands, their villages, their farms, their families, and the possibility of a two-state solution to have finally a free Palestine. Because as Nelson Mandela said, nobody will be really free until the Palestinians are free. Thanks.
Thank you, Alexandre. And finally, but certainly not the least, I would like to welcome our newest vice chair for the Green Party, Elizabeth May. Welcome, Elizabeth. You can please start. Floor is yours.
Merci. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum. I'm new this time, but I'm resuming a position I've had before, and it's a real honor to join you. I agree with every word everyone has spoken. Alexandra in particular, we need to be clear. I want to thank Chandra Arya and Sama Saeed. Today they had standing order 31 opportunities to speak, and they spoke very powerfully about solidarity with the people of Palestine. And I think that's important. I was very moved by the video we had just now, and I was thinking about the poetry of the people of Palestine, the beauty of the people of Palestine. We don't talk enough about the art and beauty of people who are, frankly, what we heard over and over again on that trip, how like Israelis in terms of culture, the people of Palestine, the people of Israel are, how close, how much we wish that we could do more. So I just thought I'd close with words from Mahmoud Darwish, a very short poem, because I don't want to, if I read his longer poems, it would take us longer, but I love this one. Don't ask the trees for their names. Don't ask the valleys who their mother is. From my forehead bursts the sword of light, and from my hand springs the water of the river. All the hearts of the people are my identity. So take away my passport. Shukran, we will work together. We will work together. And Your Excellency, Mona, it's an honor to work with you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
My
So,
honor.
with this, all the speakers have spoken, and I would really like to thank you all for coming together, although we were not able to meet in person, but coming together virtually to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people. Thank you, Ambassador Mona Abu Amara, really for joining us tonight on this very important day. And thank you to all my colleagues from all different parties for joining and coming together. This means a lot for the Palestinian people. We are all we have just at the beginning of the 44th Parliament. And I really look forward to working with you all to advance awareness in the Parliament of the challenges being faced by the Palestinian people, and in support of the goal we all share for peace for the people of Middle East.